Hey JD, how are you?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm very well, thanks. I also have online, and he doesn't have a camera. I've got my business partner, Andrew Allen. Andrew, this is JD, our marketing genius.
Hi JD.
Hey, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
You're in Florida?
Sorry. I was going to say Andrew's out of Denver, so
Nice.
we're all in slightly different time zone. So JD, I sent you 10 working and active landing pages for the ebook, together with videos. So that's a pretty good turnaround. We did 10. How are we going with the traffic?
You want to come over to my screen real quick?
Yeah, let's have a look. And I also sent you a little note saying we've got 14 registrants now.
Okay. Let me show
I don't know whether I said to you that, that email sequence of 5 emails, that's been in place now for several days. So these 14 people were in sequence of emails on the timing you said.
That's good. Are you guys able to see on screen?
I am, yeah.
Okay. Real quick, we started.
I can't. I can't see the screen. I don't know why.
Let me see if let's see. Can I add people? This is up my list. I'm not really sure.
Andrew, you might have to go on mute. I think we're getting a lot of feedback. Yeah.
Okay, Andrew, are you not able to, if you're not able to see my screen, are you able to not really sure what to do here.
Can you drop me off? I'll drop off, and can you just add me back again?
Yeah, sure, no
I
problem.
might have to answer on the laptop.
Yeah, okay, no problem.
Okay, sorry.
Can you just unshare your screen, JD?
Sure.
How's your morning been?
Busy. Just trying to put everything together, going through campaigns, looking at what's going on. Looks like we've got this new campaign that we launched yesterday that we'll get into is running really well.
Okay, great. I can see JD now.
Okay, so share your screen. And Andrew, I think you probably just put your mic on mute for a bit. Okay, here it comes. I can see.
Andrew, can you see?
Yep, I can see everyone.
Okay.
All right, so we've got these 3 campaigns running right now. The latest one is version 5. This has a new audience. We're targeting on this audience instead of interest. We're targeting behavior, which is the purchasing of higher educational or business marketing product services, stuff like that. So this has only been running for a day, and you can see that we've already been able to get more clicks. At a starting click-through rate of 1.9%, 0.9%, which is starting out is great. Obviously, we'll be able to increase this over to a 1.3, which these 2 campaigns both are running at. However, their cost per click is very high. This new campaign that we have running, without doing any dialing in, any optimization to it, we've got a very low cost per click, and we've been able to get 29 clicks compared to what's taken 5 days on the V1 campaign right here to do in clicks. So not showing any conversion values on this end, and I'm not sure once again if that goes back to when Facebook is going to crawl and update, or what's going on here. But we're still early enough in the game where I know what your counts are that you're giving me, which is 14, I believe, currently. So really, at this point in time.
Well, just before you go on, let's deal with each issue as you correctly raise them. We've given you the code, and for the pixel, and you have confirmed that it's put in correctly. It's on the ebook thank you page. You're comfortable with that? Yeah.
Once again, it's when
it sounds like a propagation issue. We're just waiting for it to propagate in Facebook, right?
Facebook, or it could be, because this is a third-party software that I'm using, it could be a delay somewhere in that. I'll be keeping an eye on that, but certainly we want the values on here, because without them, I'm flying a little bit in the dark. However, what we do know at this time, and what the good news is, and what we need to take away from this, is that this new campaign with this new audience that I have is getting us a lot better cost per click. And we know that we can bring up our click-through rate, so that this campaign right here is probably going to be a winner for us. And it's got a very large audience where I know we can dial it up and scale into it, whereas these campaigns are a little bit more narrowly focused on less than 200,000 in the audience, whereas this one's at like 1.7, 2.4 million.
I know this is a little inconvenience for you, but I hope you can just bend with me a bit. Could you just, Andrew, up to speed what version 1, 2, 4, 5 are, just very quickly?
Yes. This one right here, this V1, was the first campaign language that we used. V2 incorporates new ad text along with a headline that we found to be a winner on this campaign. And then V5 is using a combination of V2's performance combined with the new audience. So I'm taking V2 right here and replicating it up for V5 and dialing in for new audience, which has given us already better values. And
what are the audience differences between V2 and V5 for Andrew's benefit?
Huge. For all campaigns up till this campaign on V5, for these two right here that we have currently running still, these audiences are dialed in based off interests, that we dialed in that produced maybe 140,000 in the audience. So that's a very narrow, small audience. Our cost per click, yes, is going to be high. What I'm looking for here is not only a difference in, going for this new audience, which has given us more opportunities at a less cost. Now I'm going to be looking at the difference of which of these is converting, and the value. We could be up here running on V5 on this new audience at a great cost per click and miss the whole, the whole train coming by, because these are V2 and V1 could be the one that are actually converting. And so, that's kind of where we're at, is looking at, which of these audiences paired with this information is giving us the best results. Now, looking at it from a top level view, obviously V5 is, but without knowing which is converting. And I mean, once again, V5 can be a dud, because even though we've got 29 clicks registered on it so far, it could have given us 0 conversions, and where did those 4 people or 5 people that have, that have signed up as leads, where do they come from? So without that information right now, that's kind of my biggest concern. But obviously, getting that taken care of in the next couple of days, that'll be perfectly fine.
So Andrew, V2 are all the George Tritton price targeting, people who are interested in Amy Porterfield and Marie Forleo and Mike Dillard, all of those by interest. And what JD is doing with version 5 is saying, people who have purchased subscriptions and online education, they've got behavioural.
Right, behavioral and demographic.
Yeah, there we go. He's pulling it up, right?
And we're running it within these age groups. A really tight window: 30 to 32, 33 to 35, 36 to 38, 39 to 41, 42 to 44. So
my gut reaction about version 5, 29 clicks. I can tell you for a fact we've only got 14 registrants. So to get the same sort of opt-in conversion rate and to have 29 new click-throughs, we should have had another 10 registrants, opt-ins, I would have thought, but we've only had another 2.
Mm-hmm.
So my initial reaction to version 5 is, hey, that's great impressions and great clicks. Clicking on the ad is a qualifier, to be sure, but they're not actually signing up.
Yeah.
After one day, I mean.
Yes, and starting off, yes, I mean that does look like my initial impression. I wish it was calculating the conversions on this, and that's the only, because if it was, it would show me what's going on here. But it's still early, and my initial thoughts on this is we're getting most of our clicks at the 30 to 32 group. We're getting a great click-through rate, and we're getting a great cost per click. But these people probably are not our ideal people here, and we're not going to know that until we start seeing the conversion values coming in and being able to eliminate a group like this, or even the 42 to 44, 36, 38, whatever. Looking at these values initially, I mean, you can see that the top two, 49 to 40, or 39 to 41, and 33 to 35, though those have been good audiences for us on others, is showing to be the least producing audiences on this so far. So we don't want to make our judgments without knowing our conversion values. That's really what's up.
So, did you have with the fellow in the UK you're doing that eBay course for? Did he have the same problems having conversions show on Ad Espresso?
Yes, we did in the beginning. It was placed. It wasn't placed. The different codes weren't placed properly, and they were placed like dynamically through all of the headlines. So, it wasn't able to register like when someone went to the thank you page specifically, and when they did, they hit the code that I gave you, showing like a $9 value in that because in order to hit the thank you page, they had to register and fill out the form. So, that's what we're using here. And yeah,
but the bottom line is it took a few days, did it, to get the conversions working on Ad Espresso?
It took us over a week of working with it and letting me work get the pixels put in.
Do they have a help desk? Is there someone you can call and see if we can accelerate that?
They do.
You're smiling. Maybe you've done it before. I don't know.
I mean, it's a process. Usually, when you go to the help desk, it's because the account was disabled, or there's some ads that were disapproved that you want to dispute. With this, that they're going to kind of tell you, well, our algorithm handled it when
All right. Okay. So, in other words, you just want to wait. There's nothing we can do for you. You just want to wait for it to propagate. Yeah.
I mean, there's certain things that certainly we know that the code was placed on the page, so it should start rendering. I would expect to see it. I would even expect to see some of the back values to come back in. Now, whether or not it's going to do that, I don't know. Now, especially when we start getting into next week, I think we're going to have to be concerned with what's working, what's not, on a little bit higher level. Because, at the outset, yes, this campaign looks really good because we're getting it at a reduced cost, but we may be missing the barrel completely because we're going after the wrong thing here and not focus on the conversions. Now, with only having this small amount of conversions, that is alarming with the amount of clicks that we've had. But then again, I think that what we have to take away from this, again, like we've taken away from the others, is what's our age group, who's our target audience, and which of these messages that we've crafted, along with all of these different images that we're cycling through, which are going to work here. And it's a matter of time and analyzing the data and trying to meet at least our minimum thresholds, which this is doing. I mean, that's great. This is getting a lot of clicks, a lot of data. I mean, we actually have something here, whereas on our other campaigns, we barely have any information. And let's look and let's see if we have anything on V2 at this point. So I'm going to say that I think we've dialed in on this. Let me look here. But, we've used a lot of different images, tons of different ad text. I mean, you name it, we've kind of done it. Okay, so we're running on these age groups here. See, again, I'm not showing any conversion values. I am showing, once again, our 30 to 32 age group is providing the most clicks. We're getting a CPC of 135 here, which is the lowest out of all the clicks here. Click-through rate is solid at 1.775. You can see the next largest group is 33 to 35, followed by 36 to 38, and then, really followed by 39 to 41.
So if we're looking for a click-through rate of anything over 1%, if we can push it towards 2, that's brilliant. The click-through rates of those 4 that we're seeing on the screen are acceptable to you, yes? You're happy with that?
Oh, yeah. It's, at this point in time, now that we've kind of gone through this, it's not really the click-through rates and the cost per click that I'm really most concerned about. It's what is our lead cost? What is our lead conversion values? And which of these is producing my leads? Because, we're still early. 4 leads is still small, but I want to be collecting those now. And, I'll try to go in and do another sync on it. But, what I'm looking for now is where we're spending our money and where it's being most effective. Because they're coming, our leads are coming from one of these campaigns and one of these age groups, so on and so forth. And we need to then be very specific with it on each of them so that we're able to drive it. And making calls on which to cut out of these at this point in time is dangerous because, once again, with the new campaign, yes, it looks pretty at first, but I mean, it could be a pig with lipstick. And it could be a pig with lipstick in the sense of the lead conversion value. And if we're at the end of the day, we're wanting to convert people. Starting out $3, is okay. Is what it's going to probably be $3.5, something like that. And then we're looking to drop it down to $2, and then trying to drop it down to $1.80, something like that, $1.90. Obviously, it's kind of like if you were to buy an email list, you're going to pay $1 to $3 to $5, $10 per email lead or per email address. So it's kind of the same concept here we're building on. But then again, what we really, really want to focus on is what's converting. And at the end of the day, that's what's most important. So we've got these.
Conversion is also about the landing page. So I've given you 10. You've now got 10 live variations on the ebook landing page. So after we had our chat yesterday, Andrew and our programmer Nigel turned that around in one day. So you've now got 10 landing pages, right? So, and I've given you the URLs for all of them. Half of them have a video, half of them don't. So you need to tell us if you want to try and start using those, and if so, how. So that we can get greater conversion, since that's more what you're concerned about right now.
Mm-hmm.
And other landing pages, do you want landing pages that cater to different age groups, or or do you want a landing page that says, "Hey, you're an online purchaser of information products." In other words, cater more to the exact target markets you've got.
Well,
you said to me yesterday, just leave it at the landing pages that have that for the time being. So we've delivered. So we're in your hands. What do you want us to do?
I mean, first and foremost, you just delivered 10 different URLs. We have a lot of variations to go through. I like this right here, what we've done with this version 3 here, because you've changed up not only the image to video, but you've also changed up the headlines and the sub-headlines. So that's solid. You've also made this a red button instead of it being drowned out like it is here being yellow. So yes, we want to be able, first and foremost, I've got to be able to start registering these conversion values on my end. It's now we know we can drive leads. That's great. We solved that. It's not a question of that. It's now a question of where they're coming from, and let's reduce our cost and let's fine tune it so that we're able to get the right people in at the right cost. And to do that is a combination of the ads that we're running, the new audiences, as well as running different landing pages for people to take the action. And I believe that by us having a really simple page with our, giving people less options, less time to think about having second thoughts about taking the action or to get distracted, we want them to land on this page, provide their information, and go ahead and get the freedom mission. And that's it. Once we've done that, we've achieved our goal.
So for campaign number 5, you had 29 people who hit our landing page. How do you want us to now use these landing pages? Do you want to attach the URL for one of these, like this one you've got up on the screen, to these ads, or do we want to split test? How do you want to do it?
Probably what I'll end up doing is taking, for example, I'll take what I'll do is I'll take a mixture. I'll take like V2. I'll take the winning ad sets from V2 here.
Yeah.
That I have running, and I'll reduce down the headlines and ad text and the image to exactly what was winning on this one.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'll do is then I'll inject the different URLs, and I'll inject maybe 4 at a time.
Right.
And what we'll do then is we're going to look at how the landing pages affect our cost up front on our CTR and CPC side, and our conversion values, which is it's gonna change it up. I mean, this is exactly what we're doing. This is exactly the process that we need to be going through right now in our second week of doing this. So. Right now it's, everything's looking good. I would probably, without having the values registered on this side, I'm not going to take them down just yet because I don't know which audience is really driving my values. And I would almost say that the new campaign, the V5 campaign, probably resulted in a lot of clicks and not a lot of value. And that could be because, once again, it's still new. We're still testing out multiple headlines, multiple ad text and images there. So we don't know yet. So I would, let's stay safe. I would say that version 2 audience, which is narrow, it is working. But let's try different landing pages on that, and let's hope that we can go ahead and get the conversion values on my end registering maybe the next 12, 24 hours. And at that point in time, we'll be able to start making our decisions on what's working based on the lead cost. And we'll also have iterated through I'm telling you right now, and I showed you yesterday, your landing page, even the way your headline is worded, it can change, from a 14% conversion rate to a 60%.
Yeah, I agree. So you've got 3 variations there, and we can keep changing the wording. I'd be interested in your point of view about that. We're ready, willing, and able to create new landing pages that do, what you would like to test, but also got a lot there to test. So I think, just do what you said. Just start with the ones we've got and use version 2 and let's get some more information. Yeah. Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll probably end up pausing out this V2 running right now and just pause it and go ahead and launch the new one with the new URLs to test. And we'll work it from there. And that way we're not increasing our daily ad spend too much because we are running quite high. Especially without me being able to count the conversions on my end, and especially with only having 4 come through, that's really not what we're looking for, especially with the number of clicks that we had on that first campaign. Now, keep in mind, it was new. There's some optimizations to be done, and after those are done, after about a 72-hour period, or even less now, because we are running a lot of clicks through it, which is good. We'll know if it wins or not. So I would say for now, let's our next concern is obviously going to be getting the conversion value on my end working and synced. That way, there's not any issues with me being able to run these campaigns and dial them in. And like I said, I think that it's this is about as cousin dry as that is. So this is the winner right here. Let's see, we're running to the first landing page. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll use this this copy right here.
The video. Try one. Try one with a video on it. Okay.
An ad campaign.
Yeah, why not? Because if we're trying to build, going back to some of the things we're talking about, trust. Who is this person, Canel Tonkin? At least there's something there, and it's another form of media.
Well, what I would recommend doing with that, videos can result in a pretty high cost per click, and I'm not saying that we don't already have a high cost per click on our current campaigns that are running, because we do. But
no, not video in the ad. Video on the landing page.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right. Now, video on the Facebook side, on that side, it is good to use after someone's become a lead, and to retarget them to come back to either purchase the $1
$1 trial. Yep.
Or go through the full course. Now, and I think we need to even test, whether $1 makes sense. I mean, should we charge $1? Should we charge, $7 or $17 or $37 or $57? Do we, does $1? I think we need to look at the question.
I agree, but we're not at that point. We're not at that point because we don't have people even giving us email addresses now. We've only got 14 people. So that's the step after that, right? Test the price. Yeah.
That's one of the things we need to be looking at now, especially we've got 14 that are in the pipeline. I would expect, one, maybe two of them to try it. So I think that we have to start looking at why people are not doing it, and start, that's as we, because we're as the pipeline.
Why people weren't doing what?
Going for the $1 trial. The 14 that we have 0 that have done the $1 trial.
Yes.
So we need to be looking at why we don't have any one of those that have converted to a $1 trial yet.
You want to do that now?
Well, I mean, I think that's something that's coming up.
If we got 29 clicks on this latest version, this latest campaign, and we only got 2 or 4, whatever it was, opt-ins, seems to me the front at the moment isn't the $1 trial. The front at the moment is optimizing the ebook landing page to get more emails.
I mean, it's a combination of, yes, we absolutely need to be optimizing the front of the funnel. I mean, the front of the funnel is most important. But at the same time, we are starting to, I don't think it's maybe today's discussion, but it is coming up. And that's going to be looking at, our conversions once we put people on our email list, obviously building out campaigns to retarget with. 14 is still small. We need to have, we have to hit 100 people to our website just to create lookalike pixels. Good news is the people that have clicked on the V5
campaign.
You explain?
Sorry, Jay. Could you explain to Andrew what a lookalike pixel is?
It's Facebook's black box algorithm to say, because of these people that have performed this action, here's an audience that looks like those people, and it gives you like a 2 million audience that you can use. You can dial in, how close and similar match they have compared to, to increase your reach. There's a lot of ways to use it, but the point is to help use you to fine tune. So when you go in, you start building campaigns, you start running it to a particular interest or particular age group, you're able to use it to help increase your top of your funnel. That way, your top of your funnel is never really drying up. You've always got some new candidates out there that, through your processes of dialing it in right now, is going to be able to systematically and mathematically drive in people at the rate that's close to what once you get it set and going, and your conversion value. You say, hey, it's going to cost me $3 a lead or $2 a lead or $1 a lead or whatever. I'd seriously doubt $1 lead, on this, but the idea is to make it programmatic, I guess you can say, minus the exception of having to keep a pulse on what's going on and making sure, because the campaign's efficiency is going to die off sooner or later. I mean, things change. So that's the idea of it. And certainly once we get to that level, it's going to help us, reach newer audiences. And, once again, I mean, we're testing out multiple things here. I mean, we're not even sure which of these two audiences we have running right now is even working best. And I hate to say it, I mean, 29 clicks is a lot, and I love the click-through rate, I love the cost per click, but I don't like the results so far. Now, is that because we're going after the wrong age group, or is it because we're going with the wrong audience, or is it because we've got the wrong message, we got the wrong landing page? We've got a lot of answers we got a lot of things to answer. I mean, there's a lot of answers, there's a lot of questions. And I think that's what we'll be able to get through over the next week and a half is answering those and being able to dial it in. And then, yes, looking at later steps of the funnel is important. So, for example, the people that we're bringing on now, even our cost per lead is high right now. And that's because, once again, we've got to dial in a lot of stuff on the front end. But the people that we have now, we've got to work them through our process, and we've got to start learning on that and seeing what works, what doesn't. And how people and that's all based off how people respond. The click-through rates on the emails, once we kick in retargeting campaigns, how those are performing. We've got a lot of things that we can do, but we've got to get our numbers up, the amount of traffic coming through our website before we can even use those things. So those are tools that will be coming in the next, I would say, couple of days based on the amount of volume that we got off of V5. Though it's not the one that we want, well, we don't know that yet. It may be the one we want.
But it will get us to that algorithm, will get us to 100 so we can have more tools for
that. Yeah, and we can, because it won't let me use retargeting and kick that in until that threshold is met. So once it is met, we can start using some of the tools that's going to help us dial in further. In the meantime, we're still exploring here. And based off the numbers, looking at 29 clicks and only 4 registrants, that's not what we're necessarily looking for. I mean, that's a low conversion rate. And, so once again, that might be an audience we have to kill off. And only the data is going to be able to tell us that.
Okay, fair enough. Is there anything else, any other new information you want to share with us or observations? That's it?
I mean, yeah, I think that's all we've got right now. I think that using these New York landing pages, we've got some more testing and information gathering to do, so we just need to get through this period and look forward for once we catch on and find where we're at, find our way, find our path, we'll be able to move forward then.
All right, Andrew, do you have any questions for Jared, or this is just all a good introduction?
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, okay. No. All right, JD.
All right. Well, I'll be dialing this campaign in. I'll get this new one launched with this exact ad right here running. And what we'll do is we'll be testing the new landing pages, and those will be kicked out in the next couple of hours. So, well, it'll be out by this evening by the time that they publish it. So, we're just we've got to keep running and gathering data.
All right, sounds good, JD. Listen, thanks for your time and thanks for all your efforts again. I appreciate your analysis. It's great. And thanks for sharing some stuff with Andrew as well. Yeah?
Andrew, it's nice to meet you. I appreciate your time, man. Let me know if you have any questions.
Okay, take care.
All right, thanks.